Alright, so Autodesk Inventor, let's talk a little bit about it. It's a really cool program. First off, how do you get there? The little windows down at the bottom of the screen, I know you can't see it, but it looks like a little windows, or the start menu. You click on that, it shows all your programs. You're going to find the one that says Autodesk Inventor, and then that's your folder. You're going to open up that folder and you find the program called AutoDesk Inventor Professional 2019. You may have a different version, but you got to open up Autodesk Inventor Professional. Don't open up anything else. It may take it a few minutes to open, so just give it some time. If it gives you any license information, just ask your teacher about that and get it all set up. But I'm just going to go ahead and run. It may take a few minutes, so I'm going to pause the video until it's ready to go. Alright, well, once it's all pulled up, it should look like this or something like this. Sometimes it changes on you. The first thing you'll notice up at the top, this is your quick access toolbar, and that's a part of your ribbon. So this whole top chunk of your screen, including all these tools, that's all called the ribbon. And so the ribbon has different options of the menu that you can toggle between, and those options will change as you do different things in Inventor. If you need to stop this video at any point and check things out or get to the right point or go back, please feel free to do so. So you saw the first part up here at the top, that's the ribbon. There's also down here the option to start new files. There's 3 different files that we will typically deal with, one of them being a part. So that would be one part in a group of parts. So if you think about putting an assembly or a linking cube together to form a cube, one of those cubes would be a part, and the whole assembly would be the entire cube put together. So you have parts, that's like an individual, and then you have an assembly. So you take multiple parts and put them together to form an assembly. So you have one, and then you have a group. Once you finish either a part or an assembly, you can take them and put them onto a drawing. That's basically a fancy way of doing multi-view drawings. This is where you can do top, front, right side views. You can also put dimensions. You can do materials lists, and you can do lots of things with a drawing, but it makes things look very official, what you would typically turn into your client or somebody for manufacturing. Presentation tool, we don't really use it. I don't teach it in this class, but that's something to where you could do an exploded view of something. You have a part that's put together, and you can show in the presentation how to kind of explode or like blow up your part, and not like blow up as in like a bomb, but blow up as in take everything apart and show you how all the parts get put back together. So that's pretty cool. Alright, let's go ahead and start with a part. It may take it a minute or two to open up. That's okay, just be patient. We'll talk about projects in a different video. Again, I'm going to pause this video and let the part open up. Alright, once your part file opens up, it should change the way your screen looks. You first of all notice that your ribbon has changed. You have lots more options now. First thing I want to tell you about Inventor is that there are about 5 different ways that you can do everything. So I'm going to show you one way, try and show you a consistent way of doing things, but if you find a different, easier way of doing things, that's fine. So the thing to note about Inventor, actually let's start by looking around. So over here on the left side is called your browser. Your browser is going to change and add things as you create things to your object or your part. Over here on the right side of your screen are tools for navigating or like changing your view inside of Inventor. Up here is my view cube. Your view cube is your friend. So if you click on this little home button, it's going to change how you view the object, and once I click it, it automatically goes to your isometric. So you have your top, your front, and your right side view. If you want to take a look at either one of those, you can click on the view, like the top view, and it will change to look directly onto the top view. So I'm going to keep it on the front view for right now. Over here is a bunch of tools that you can check out on your own time, but things like panning, that's like grabbing and pushing it around, orbiting, zooming to everything that you have, zooming to all, A cool feature of using Inventor is if you're not sure what a tool is, you can always hover your mouse over the tool on the ribbon or anywhere else, and it will show you initially like a definition, and then if you keep it there, it'll show you a picture and a more detailed explanation of what that tool does in Inventor and how to use it. And like you see there, you can press F1 if you need more help. The help feature on Inventor is pretty good too. Alright, so let's go ahead and make something in Inventor. I'm going to start, you always start from 2D to 3D just like you would anywhere else, and we're going to start by doing a 2D sketch. So I'm going to click this, and it's going to ask me, because Inventor needs you to be really specific, it says, okay, you want to draw something two-dimensional, that's awesome. Where do you want to put it? So I'm going to put it on the XY plane. You can just hover your mouse over the XY plane and then click, and then it will change your view to be normal to or perpendicular to that XY plane. You also notice that our view cube changed to look at the front view. So let's start by making, how about a square? So I'm going to use the rectangle tool here to make a square. Notice that your cursor, the little point or the dot on the cursor is yellow, and whenever you put that to something where it kind of snaps in place, now it turns green. That has to do with constraints, and you may know what a constraint is, something that limits what you do. We'll talk a little bit more about constraints later, but in this case, wait till it turns green at the origin and then go ahead and click and release. You're going to get into the habit of click and release. Don't click and drag, click and release. So I'm going to click and release to start it, and then I'm just going to click and release somewhere over here to finish it. Doesn't really matter what the size is. Then I'm going to use this tool here called the dimension. We've talked about dimensions before. Dimensions are your friend in Inventor. So I'm going to first dimension this top edge here by just rolling the mouse over top of it, clicking and releasing first to engage the tool, and then I'm going to set the dimension down somewhere, doesn't matter, right there, and it's going to say, do you want to edit it? Sure. I want my cube to be 3 inches, so we'll say 3 and press enter, or you can press the little green check right there, and you'll notice that now our square has gone out of view. Well, there's a couple of ways you can fix that. You can use this nifty tool over here called Zoom All, and it will put everything that you have into one view. You can also just click on the front side of your object and it'll do the same thing. Okay, so we have our 3-inch top part of our cube here. Let's also do a 3-inch height. So I'm going to click and release, click to place it, change that to 3 inches, press enter. Let's get everything into view again. There you go. Now we have a 3 by 3 inch square. So we have a 2D object. Now, the thing I want to do is I want to finish my sketch, but I want to remind you that one of the ways that students really get confused in Inventor is when they have multiple sketches. Multiple sketches can be really confusing when you're using Inventor, so make sure you're only doing one sketch at a time. So you see here I only have one sketch in my browser, and currently that's the only thing that's white over here in my browser. And when I come over here and click Finish Sketch, notice that it changes my browser and now everything is white, so it's no longer selected my sketch. And we have now, let's see, I can click on my home, and now we have completed a 2D object. Yay! You can go ahead and save this. We'll talk about where to save later, but for this case you can save to My Documents, call it something, you can call it My First Part, and you can click Save. Good job.